Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome back to the channel. In today's little reading we are doing angels and affirmations. We're getting a message from your angels along with an affirmation about, well, it's a here and now message for you right now, here today. Let us draw our angel card first. We have Angel of Determination. Wow, okay, this is an interesting card to draw first of all for you. Let's see what affirmation we're shown as well. Let's just cut this pack. And your card is, I am worthy of the very best in life and I now lovingly allow myself to accept it. Wow, with the Angel of Determination. We'll draw some runes and some cards to see what else we are shown, Super Souls. Now the runes, our first rune is where you are now. Second rune is advice, information, and the third rune is the kind of outcome where this is going. Oh, I'm getting all three coming through. So, first rune, you have the rune of strength. Second rune, you have the rune of ice. This is very interesting. Okay, and third rune, you have the rune of the spiritual warrior. Your reading is actually very clear already, but I'm going to draw the three cards first. Gosh, do you know, I will just tell you about these angels as well. It's really appropriate. I have a little army of angels. I consider myself very lucky to have them. They sit in the room here where I work. This is a cherry quartz angel. Cherry quartz is really an interesting energy. I was really drawn to these three. I spent time before this reading really seeing which of the angels would come into this reading. Cherry quartz is an energy that helps us to overcome obstacles and to move something forwards if it feels stuck, or, you know, yeah, to move something forwards, overcoming obstacles, stepping over hurdles, moving through, and quite quickly shifting the energy. The white quartz energy, the white quartz angel, white quartz literally attracts positivity and repels negativity. So it's an amazing angel to keep with you, or an amazing stone, crystal to carry with you if you're feeling low or worn down, or you need to sort of persevere, but from a gentle perspective, because it keeps your energy really good. And if you are very, very sensitive to the energy of others and people around you are negative, it will stop you from absorbing the negativity of others. It will repel their negativity and keep your own energy clean. Green aventurine is, whenever I work with this as a crystal, I feel like somebody has just wrapped a blanket around my shoulders. Okay, I feel like there is an energy, somebody around you actually is quite negative, and it can't be helped. That's their stuff. But I think it's quite hard for you not to be absorbing their energy at the moment. Your message is ever so clear, in a way that their energy is, yeah, Angel of Determination. I am worthy of the very best in life and I now lovingly allow myself to accept it. Now, for some of you, because I'm seeing you walking towards something here, walking upwards and towards something, I think for some of you there has been the impact of negativity in the past that somehow has stayed with you. For others, it really is that there is negativity around you, just people, somebody around you that's very, very negative. They hold a very negative perspective, but I feel like you're possibly struggling to kind of hold your own almost, you know, because it's really difficult, isn't it? You know, it gets you down. If somebody's very negative around you, it gets you down. Actually, there's a real validation because it's affecting your self-esteem in some way, shape or form. Whether this is somebody now who is pressing your buttons and reminding you of stuff, or whether it's a historical thing, it could be a bit of both. But your angels are really saying to you, come on, determination. You don't need to carry this stuff anymore, or any of the messages that you were given. It's like you're literally being shown a pathway forwards. we have the rune of strength, which for me always says the universe has your back. So whatever this is whatever's taking place around you, persevere, keep going. You know, this is going to be overcome. Now, it's really interesting, the action here in this rune, the ice. Ice is a rune of standstill. Let's draw those more cards and have a look. Let's see what we are shown. There is your first, there is your second, and there is your third. Okay. Your first card, we have the card of judgment. We're seeing you rise above something here. Okay. Your second card, the Five of Pentacles. This is very interesting under this rune. And then we have the Magician. Okay. Right. This is a very interesting reading, and actually I'm going to draw a couple more cards for you in just a second, because we need to see a little bit more information around the rune of ice. Now, the rune of ice is a rune that means we kind of feel stuck. Something's frozen, it's not moving forwards. But it also, there's something here that within this stuckness, it holds the key to something that has previously got you down. Okay, so I am seeing quite clearly now this sort of additional aspect of your message here. Angel of Determination. This is the key here to moving something forwards, is to give yourself complete and utter permission to be discerning in life, to make choices according to the energy and the nature of the people you meet. I'm going to share with you a little tool that I used to use a lot in my therapeutic practice. If you're new to me in my readings, I was an accredited counsellor, a psychotherapist for over 28 years. I now really kind of try to bridge that gap between that kind of therapeutic work and, you know, our spiritual pathways. But this is what I call a grading tool. So if you can imagine for a moment, imagine yourself sitting here, just here, let's put you here, and then we have a line between you and the end or the corner of the room that you're sitting in, or an end point. And everybody in your world, everyone you have a connection with, is on that line somewhere, okay? So some people will be very, very close to you on that line, and others will be right at the end of it. Now, we all have this line. We all have people in our world. Some people on your line are simply there by default, okay? Like let's say your neighbour. You won't necessarily have chosen your neighbours. They've chosen to live where they live or whatever, but you know, they're on your line by default because they live near you, they're next to you. Your family members, for example. I mean, I know at a level of soul we could say I chose our families, but ultimately we've got people that are on that line, and interestingly enough, some are there by default. It's our life circumstances that mean they're there. There are other people on that line, like our friends, our partners, who are there because we choose to put them there. You know, we've met them, we get on really well with them, we love them, we like them, we invite them in. Now, what kind of sometimes happens is, and I see you walking along this line here, look towards the light. This is telling us, this is about you choosing who to have on your line. Now, a lot of the time, sometimes the people who are really close to us on that line, they're close to us sort of by default, like family members. And actually, sometimes we have people who we've let come in and be very close to us on our line, but really we should, if we were to really consciously think about where we want them on the line, we might prefer them to be right at the other end, or even not on our line at all. You know, this grading tool is to sit down and imagine that line, think about where everybody is on your line. Are they very close to you? Are they all the way at the other end? But to consciously think about where you wish to put them on the basis of who they are and the kind of energy and messages they bring into your world. And even if there are some people on that line who are there by default, you can still choose not to have them really close up. You know, for many of us, we never consciously think about where to put someone, especially if they are on our line by default. We sort of just let them in really close and we keep them close because they are, but we don't consciously think about where to put them. And also, if perhaps during childhood, you know, self-esteem isn't built in a solid way for whatever reason, sometimes we almost welcome everybody into on our line really, really quickly, and then get very disappointed when we feel let down. Actually, a much more conscious way of living is to welcome people onto our line sort of somewhere in the middle, and then allow them closer and closer and closer, depending on how they are and how we get on with them. But if we discover that their energy isn't particularly good, or they don't really resonate with us, we then move them further down the line, or indeed we walk away altogether. You know, we walk away, we make choices. So we become a much more active participant in the creation of our world, which is what the Magician is really about. We're seeing you becoming actively conscious in the way that you navigate people and relationships in your world with discernment. This is a rune of discernment. It's about making clear choices, particularly with people. So this is about saying, look, if people, the rune of ice here, it's holding the key here. So it's rather than feeling frozen and stuck by people, this is about use that space of stillness to really think about the kind of energy that people bring into your world, because this holds the key. Take time to assess and evaluate, to feel your way through it, to think about it and make conscious choices where you want somebody on your line, who you want on your line, where you're going to put them, where you're going to keep them, and how to choose to move something forwards because then you just move constantly towards the light. You only have people who elevate and vibrate at sort of the vibrational essence of what you actually want and what resonates with you. And there will always be some people on your line by default, but you just choose where you're putting them. Okay, so how much information you give them, how much you share of yourself, how much you give to them, you do so consciously. And this is what this reading is all about. I am just going to draw a couple more cards for you, as I said I would. I'm kind of wanting to see an outcome here. This is lovely. We have, look at this, the Four of Pentacles. I'll just place this here. Can you see that he's blindfolded, but he's actually navigating? This is so interesting. I'll say more about this, but he's navigating through his senses. You know, he's and there is a pathway here being shown here. You're needing to see people clearly. It's like sniff them out. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope that means something to you and you know what I mean. Yeah, sniff them out. And then think about consciously, who are you going to kind of crown? Who are you going to keep in your world? This is a card of relationships, Two of Cups. Sniff people out, sense who they are, smell, literally, it's like taste their energy, smell their energy, listen to how they feel, and only bring people close to you who you actually wish to be with. Okay, your reading is so very, very clear. Super Souls, this is one of these little single readings that I sometimes feel completely drawn to do. Your message is very clear for today. Thank you to your angels for bringing this message forwards for you. Super Souls, I'm sending you all the love in the world. If you'd like to get notification and don't want to miss any of the readings, whether it's these teensy weensy little messages, individual messages, affirmations, or the bigger pick a card readings where we ask very specific questions. And also I do a reading every single Sunday for weekly guidance, really asking your spirit team for any information to help you navigate the week ahead. You know, if you subscribe, press the little bell icon. You will hopefully never miss a reading that I post. And Super Souls, just tons of love. Thank you for those of you who give back through the super thanks. Thank you as well to those of you who are supporting all of the stuff that I do through Patreon. Tons and tons and tons of love.